Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Jay and Nicole's Learning Lab podcast. Today we have a couple things. One thing that will be very interesting and helpful for teachers, and the other thing's kind of on the technical side, and we've got some other things to talk about as well. Nicole, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing all right. It's been kind of an interesting week so far. I think just finishing up the surprise I have that I alluded to last week. And I don't know, just teaching in general this week has been very unique. I think for both of us, we've had some interesting experiences this week. What do we want to start with? Do we want to start with like the student parent interactions? Do we want to go with
Yeah,
where
let's
I was?
start there. Let's
All
start
right.
there. This will be short, and this more of a just getting
Venting
just
session.
venting. Yeah, it's more venting than anything. I have been having a problem with parents canceling late on me. And even
Yeah.
though I charge them, it's still annoying. It's still annoying to me. And I'm getting frustrated with it. And it's not all my students. It's like a handful, but it's always the same students. It's always the same students. The it's never the other students. It's never the other students.
Well, I've got a chronic counselor to the point that I don't even prepare her lessons anymore until she shows up
Right,
in class.
right.
I'm not even kidding. She's like a 50%, and that's on a good day,
Mhm.
counselor. Like I don't even well, she's one of my no-brainer students. Like, you know what I mean? Like I know the material so well, I could just walk in and teach it, but I don't even prepare in advance because it's so often she's not there. And then mom will say, "I sent you money for a new package." I'm like, "Okay."
Right. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that. But the one that's really bad, um, she was taking two 50-minute, well, we'll just say four 25-minute classes a week. They were back-to-back classes, so two 50-minute classes, but the way the package is structured, they're 25-minute classes. Um, and she's been like frequently canceling with 30 minutes notice, 15 minutes notice. Never that particular group of students, of course, they're allowed to cancel up to 3 hours before the class. Um,
Yeah, that's
but
wild.
also 1 hour before a class, right before spring festival, I got a message. Hey, we're going to be taking vacation for the next 2 months. Class today, I guess not. And then we're supposed to come back. She extends it another month. Okay, this is a kid that's supposed to be getting ready for the PET exam this summer. And I promise you, she is not going to pass it. There's just no way. I can't.
Not a miracle
I could
worker.
have. I could have had her ready if she hadn't have taken a 3 month break and hadn't have canceled so many classes after that and stuck with 50-minute classes. I could have had her ready. I could have had her ready. But as it stands, I can't even get a good picture description out of her. That's like
Yeah.
PET 101, that's like the easy part. And because the reading is really tough. The reading is tough. That's where there's like seven short paragraphs of things and they have to choose the right paragraph that fits the situation. It's not easy. Um,
Mm-mm.
so I don't know what that kid's future holds. But I think that I'm just gonna in the morning, she takes class in the afternoon. I think in the mornings I'm just gonna send the mom a message. Hey, is Ashley having class today?
Oh,
I
I
think I'm
hate
just
doing that so much too, though. It's
well,
like I feel like the secretary, I'll get in trouble, not in trouble, but they'll try and be like, "You didn't tell me." And I'm sitting here thinking, "You booked the class. Like, how do you not know when the class is?
right,
You went back and forth with me for a good 15 minutes to find that spot.
right.
Like, excuse me?" And then
right,
on top of it, I use ClassIn for almost all of my classes. The app gives you notifications when the class
mm,
is gonna start
right.
because I get the notifications on my phone. Do do do
Mhm.
do do.
Right.
This it's annoying. I got to turn it down. And I'm sitting here going, "Say what?"
Yeah, she, since we came back from Spring Festival, I think she's canceled probably 60% of her classes. There's just no
Whoa.
way.
She's
There's
not.
just
No.
no way. And I told the mom, I said, she asked me, what's the plan going forward? And I'm like, well, the plan hasn't changed, and that was to get her ready for the PET, unless you tell me the plan has changed. But
Right?
and I told her, as of right now, she will not pass it. I was very honest with her. She will not get a good score on it. She reads, and when I say reads, she says the words and reads everything just fine. But I'm going to be honest, she
Ew.
struggles with the comprehension, and she can't articulate to me if I say, well, summarize this. Tell me, what
Yep.
did you, she can't do it. And I'm like, man, if you can't, there's just no way. And we've only got a few months left. There's just no way she's going to pass it. There's no way. There's no way.
I mean, well, you and I don't understand. I know I keep changing how I start my sentences because I rethink it. It's just something I do. Um, I don't understand these parents. The kids read really well, and they're like, "Oh, look at how well they're reading. They're at like
Mhm.
C1 level." And I'm like, "Well, yes, but reading and creating your own opinions and thoughts and and inferring
Mhm.
to put those thoughts together to give me a summary or an opinion,
Right.
that's not the same thing.
Right.
You're
Uh,
literally just a parrot. I can read Tagalog to you all day long. I have no idea what I read.
right.
And I can
Right.
read it correctly.
Mhm.
But you ask me what that is, I have no clue.
Yeah,
I'm like, don't know.
I have another parent after the class last week. I sent you a screenshot. She said, this
Yeah.
is too easy for him. I said, the reading is easy. He reads it very fast. That's not the point of this class. The point of this class is to get him speaking better. And I don't really want complex reading for him. I don't really, this is not a reading class.
No.
If you want a
Well,
reading class, let me know and we can switch it up, you know?
well, and that's the thing. They get so confused about this because
Mhm.
they do the same thing to me. Oh, it's too easy, like the homework. It's too
Mhm.
easy. It's too easy. And I'm like, yes, because they're very good at reading and grammar. Yeah, it is
Right.
too easy. But the point is I want them to practice that. Now I'm going to ask them questions when they come
Right.
back.
And like, let's just take a verb tense, present continuous. And I
Hmm.
have told people, I go, you're going to do it this year, you're going to do it next year, and you're going to do it next year. You're going to keep doing it. And there's a reason why. It's called repetition. That's how you learn this stuff. And, they're going to add a little bit to it
Yep,
each year you
they're
do it.
gonna scale it
They're
up.
going to add, yeah, but it's at the root of it, it's still present continuous tense. It's still the present. And, I don't know how many times I've written on the screen am/is/are plus verb ing. Don't know how many times I've written that on the screen. Nobody remembers it. Nobody is, nobody remembers it. And there's a certain set of material I use. Um, that where they have to convert the verbs like to play to playing. And the
Mhm.
kids always want to say to playing. I said, no, playing, not to playing. But it says to play here. I don't care. When we put the ing, you remove the to.
Mhm.
So, and and it's every single one. Do it every single one through them. But anyways,
Or adding the
anyways,
before every noun.
right, right. Or just not using the.
Yeah, or then when you tell them that you don't have to put it in front of every noun unless it's a very you're talking about
Right,
specific or title, then all of a sudden they remove the for everything.
right,
And you're
right.
just like, okay, you went from one extreme to the other.
Right, 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 exactly.
And you're just like, okay. There's some things where you just have to remind yourself, I know I've said it 20 times today, but this is the first time I've said today to this student.
Right, right. exactly.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I've been having the same issue. I've been having a rash of cancellations. We were just talking about this before we hit record on the meeting. I'm having an insane rash. Like I have never in all the years that I've done this had this many cancellations. Like I'm having huge gaps between
Mhm.
classes to the point where like good thing my husband has an income also because this month is going to be pretty skimpy. You know, um and it's been quite strange, but I've also had a rash of students doing last minute cancellations. And I've been giving some grace because some of them are some longer term students. But
Mhm.
starting next month, I'm going to be very strict on hey, you get like this many last minute cancellations every like 3 months or whatever.
I give
Like,
one every 6. I give one
yeah,
every
something
six
like that.
months.
I'm going to give them like one off and then that's it. Um,
It's good
to the
karma
point
to do.
where it
It's
is. It is. It honestly is. And I have a good relationship, but I do FYI teachers, you should be doing the same thing. I do keep track of my constant almost always have an emergency to cancel so they don't
right.
get charged parent because
Yep.
guess what? When I need an extra day off, guess what classes I'm canceling?
Right. Exact. Or I just want a break during the day. I want like a
Hmm.
30-minute break. Hey man, internet's not working.
Right.
Whatever.
Exactly.
You
Oh,
know.
you know what? My stomach hurts really bad. I'm sorry.
Right.
I can't go to class.
I I like to use, yeah, I'm having stomach problems today.
Hmm.
Everybody knows what that means. Everybody
Hmm.
knows what that means without getting graphic.
And you know
Um,
what? Don't even feel bad about it because if they can do it to you, and then when they ask to reschedule, oops, sorry, my schedule's full.
mhm. Yep.
I'm sorry, you can cancel on me last minute. You know what? I'm hungry today. I want to go
Or
eat dinner with my husband. Guess what?
right.
Your class is canceled because you've canceled on me how many times in the last 3 months? So,
Exactamundo.
and sometimes I've done it just to be petty.
Oh, that, yeah, I'm not gonna
I've
lie.
done the petty cancel. I'm not going to
Can
lie.
can we can't make it at 6 o'clock and it's 5:30. Can we just do the class later today? And I'm like, I'm booked. I might have nothing on my schedule, but I promise you I'm booked.
Yep, I'm booked now.
Right.
Yes, I am.
Yep.
Especially the car kid. I have one that does it in the car, but I actually don't mind them because what they do is actually pretty good. They'll be out eating, but what they do is they're in Korea, so they're in Seoul actually, so they have like really great internet
Yeah.
coverage for their cell phones. So what they do is they'll send the kid to the car by himself,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
he'll actually do the
that's
class. And
that's
then
fine.
because they're back to back brothers, they swap out, and
Mhm.
he'll go back in and finish his meal, and the other one comes out and does class.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't mind that one.
Right. I tell parents, whatever, try not to do this because the classes just aren't very good in the car. The kids are distracted, you know. And if you're going to do a class in the car with other people in the car, put headphones on the kid. Put headphones on. I know, I had a kid cry because he had to wear headphones. He cried in class before. This was a long time ago when I was at 5-1 Talk.
Serious?
Hold on. Pardon me. What's up, buddy? I'm doing a podcast. I know. There we go. It was my
That's
son.
cute. That's awesome. Well, I get my husband popping in, literally watching me in the podcast. Remember that?
Mhm.
And he pops his head through and he goes, "Are you busy?" And I'm like, "No, not at all. What you
This
need?"
is the life. This is the life.
He
This
actually
is the
did this
life.
to me yesterday in a class, and I'm just like, "Wait a minute. Yes."
Well, the rule is supposed to be when my door is closed, I'm teaching or doing this. Wait till I'm done. I'll open the door as soon as I'm done.
I got the same rule. I do a curtain. I do a hanging curtain system, and like when the curtains are closed, let alone you hear me talking, like I'm doing stuff. When it's open, it's hilarious. Okay, anyways. So let us know if you guys are having interesting times with your parents or students when it comes to scheduling or
Mhm.
cancellations. I don't know. It's just been a weird year since the
Yeah,
Lunar New Year this year.
the mom with the 3 month break, they're in for a rude awakening when their package is up much earlier than they thought, because I've been charging for every single late cancellation.
That we group, I almost said the other one that we talk about. I the, the we group that we have.
She's from that group.
Oh, is she? Okay. Yeah,
So
that remember the
she
one that didn't
knows the
renew?
rule.
She
She
does.
knows the
Yeah.
rule.
She signed the contract.
Right.
Um, yeah, that one that didn't renew. Remember I told
Mhm.
you where she's like, "Well, but I told you that we needed to cancel." Yeah, like 10 minutes before class,
Right.
which
Well,
I
they
took a screenshot of.
and a lot of them will word it as not canceling, but they'll say we need to take a leave.
Yes. Well, I asked for leave. That was what it was too.
Right.
I'm like, your kid was literally sleeping on the couch and you told me, well, she's asleep. Can we take leave today? He's so tuckered out. It's kind of like, that kind of thing. And
Mhm.
I'm like, well, you knew you had class. Why'd you let them go to sleep?
Right. Right. I had
Or
one mom that's not from that group sent me a message last week. She goes, I'm just going to apologize to you right now. He was out doing sports all day and running around, and he's really tired today. I go, and I said, this is a good kid. These are good parents. There's never a
I've done
issue
that.
like this. I said, if you need to cancel today, it's okay. It's okay. I won't charge you. And she goes,
I've done that.
she comes back. She goes, no, Noah said he wants to have class. I said, okay. He's like 4 years old. He's 4 years
He
old.
must really like you. It's cute.
He's funny. He makes me
Yeah.
laugh.
It's yeah, she didn't renew. Really mad that I charged her for those. It was 3 classes actually in her package. She got real, but I asked, and I'm like, you canceled right. I mean, do they think that, some of these classes, like I had to be here, I had to prepare my
Mhm.
stuff, like, yo,
I have I have one family that I teach where there's a set of twins and there's an older sister, and I have everybody scheduled at certain times so I know what I'm doing. If you swap the twins on me, it's not a
oh, I
problem
hate
because they
that.
do the same thing. But she'll go, "Hey, Emma's not going to take the class today. Lucy is," and I'm like, you told me 30 minutes before. I wasn't ready for that. I'm
Yeah.
in class, and I tried to drop a very subtle hint on her that, this isn't the way to do this. I said, "Oh, okay, well, I'll try and have something ready, but I'm in class all the way up until your daughter's class. So I don't know how I'll have time, but I'll find something."
Well, especially like if you use Class In, right? You can preload,
Right.
right? So I have 2 brothers that are back to back, and they'll do that. And I'm sitting there going, well, everything's loaded. I spent time loading all this stuff, and now it's the wrong students. Now I got to, and then now I have to do it twice because he took over his brother's spot, so I got to delete off his brother's stuff and reload. I have learned with these two that I don't load anything until we're in class.
Right.
Okay. All right, all right, all right, all right. So, uh, vent session over. Okay, so are you guys ready? You ready, ready, ready?
So, Nicole, what's new with you?
You liked my not so subtle hint there.
Right.
Okay. Yes, so I am finally officially ready to show the whole thing. We've talked about it once before, but I realized I didn't have a lot of the back end completed that needed to be done when I was beta testing you, and I added like 3 other teachers to help beta test. I now have what's called TCEC Pay, Teacher Cole's English Corner. TCEC is the acronym. Um, TCEC. I hate it when they do that. The teacher, what's her name? Also said it differently. TSEC, she said, I think. Um, Anyways, it's a payment portal for teachers. So a lot of teachers either have difficulty getting Stripe, or if they get Stripe, which they can have, they don't have all the payment options available because I have a US account because my business is listed as an LLC in the US, so I have a full business account. And in areas like Philippines and things like that, they have a hard time accepting payments from different areas of the world, specifically China, but some other places as well. So I can accept things like Alipay, WeChat Pay, the Union card that they use, and I don't have any problems. It's very straightforward. What I also realized is there are other platforms that do the same thing. I only know of about two others, I think, that you don't have to actually use the platform to be able to receive payments. Um, but they charge quite a hefty fee. There's a subscription fee and a percentage, or it's just a percentage, but it's very high. And I was like, this seems like a really great gap that I could fill. I also realized that when they were using those services, it didn't really help create any type of trust or relationship with your client.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's an issue also where some of the teachers are at, whether it be in South Africa or the Philippines or other places. My target market right now is South Africa and the Philippines, so I'll be using that as an example. But other markets are welcome to join. I don't limit. Um, but I do know that teachers in the Philippines and teachers in South Africa, there is a barrier there sometimes when it comes to the trust issue. And I'm
Right.
hoping to also help increase that by having it run through my company as a verification process. You get a verification badge. They can look me up in the US as a licensed LLC for many years, and I have a presence in the community. So I'm very well trusted, right? But because of that, to be able to create that type level of trust, there is a verification process. So I'm taking it a little bit step farther than some of the other platforms that just act as a payment portal. You get actually verified officially. So TCEC Pay, I'm going to share the screen and I'll just walk you through the process real quick. Screen share. There we are. Here we go. Takes a second for everything to load so I can see everything. Okay, so this is my website. Can you see it yet, Jay?
I You
There
can.
we go. All right. So this is my website, Teacher Cole's English Corner. So this is my main web page. If you go to right here where it says TCEC Pay, right, which I'm just going to do a tab because it's faster. Right. Nope, it's not. That's the ahead. All right, TCEC Pay. If you click on that, it will bring you to the TCC Pay page, okay? This is for parents and teachers. So if you need an extra kind of boost in your trust with parents, you can actually send them to this TCC Pay page and they can read about what it is to help create an extra level of trust. What is TCC Pay, the model, how it works, verification standards. So your parents can also, your clients can also see that you had to go through a process to get verified. All right. But for teachers at the very bottom, you can see it says join us for teachers seeking verification. And you have to be pre-verified by me personally um, before I invite you to become part of the system. And it's actually pretty easy. It'll pop up this. It's just a simple application. All I'm going to do is really just make sure you're a real person. You're not a spammer. You have presence. You're a teacher. I can see your socials. Okay. It's very simple. It's just one, I think it's 2 pages. Yeah, it's 2 pages really quick. Very, very easy. You send this in. Once I verify that you're a real person, you have presence in the teaching world, I will invite you to do the onboarding. Yeah, I have to change this picture. I forgot it was the funny picture that I was playing around with.
You
Um,
look like you're working in a hospital. I'm not gonna lie.
I know it's hilarious, right? I was actually, this was I looked at this today and went, oh, I clicked the wrong picture. Yeah, I got to redo that. Anyways, it's a self-paced onboarding. It's very easy to be honest. There is 5 steps really. What it is you're just going to learn about what it is, have the guidelines, you're going to sign an agreement, you're going to give me your information. That's pretty much all it is. Okay.
Takes about
It's
10 minutes, right?
Yeah, you have like 5 days to finish it. But that's just because I know people are busy. So this is what it is. You're going to do the onboarding, which is just telling you about TCEC. You're just reading an article. It's going to give you the guidelines. I have an actual guideline packet that you can read what the rules are, how you would get like kicked off the system. Um, you have the option, which I'm going to show you now. There are a couple options for you. You can just get the payment link from me. You can have an actual teacher-facing page. It's your choice. If you want the teacher-facing page, that's completely okay. That's what some of these extra steps are, is for me to fill it out. Payments communication platform use, verified public presentation, and then you're going to sign the agreement that you agree to the rules and stipulations, and you'll be activated. I'll show it to you right here. This is one of the teachers that we have. Of course, the bar at the top of the screen is in the way, so we will do it that way and then put it back. The bar at the top of the screen for the screen share is in the way. All right, so this is one of my current teachers, and this is the teacher-facing page. I removed the headers and the footers, so it will look like just your page. Okay, you can give them just your link to your page, and you can put in whatever you want.
So
Basically, it's a
you
profile
do
page.
this so you don't become a teacher marketplace, right?
Pretty much, yes.
Right.
You are an independent teacher. I am not a marketplace. I am only helping you facilitate trust and payments. Okay. This is optional. You do not have to have this page. This is completely optional. You can skip these steps, but it does give you access to the badge, which I give you a copy of the badge so you can add it to any other profiles that you want. You can say that you are a verified and independent teacher. You can put here any type of like pictures. See, she has like a scroll of pictures in here from her teaching. She does have a video at the end. Any type of teaching video you want. This here is WeChat Pay instructions to make sure that WeChat Pay is successful, because there are very specific steps to use this. I have verified this over the last year that these steps are perfect. The parents say it's very easy to understand. You will have to reiterate not to open it in WeChat a couple times, but hey. So
I
this is
was going to
part of,
say,
yeah, right.
I was going to say,
This
then why
is,
don't they do that?
I know, but there's usually like the first time it's always fun. But anyways, this is what it is. So you get your own, basically your own website page. Okay, so you don't even have to deal with that yourself, um, which is great. And here's another teacher. See, she has it as well. Um, so you can put as much or as little as you like. I do make it very clear that you are an independent educator verified through TCEC. Um, and then what happens, you get your link, which she has down here at the Pay Now button, right?
And you
When
can just give that link directly to the parents, right?
you
They don't
can,
have to
yes.
go through here. Yeah, that's how I do it. That's how I
Yes,
do it.
that's exactly how you do it. So it gives you options. You can just have the link if you want. You don't want the website page. Perfectly fine. Less work for me. Um, you can just get the link once you're verified. Or you can get the full teacher page plus the link, obviously, and it gives you the option to send them to the page or just give them the link to pay. As you can see, we have Alipay, we have WeChat Pay. These links are designed for you to tell them the amount. Okay.
Right.
Again, a verified teacher. This teacher is an independent educator verified by Teacher Cole's English Corner and uses the TCC Pay for secure payment processing. Okay. So it makes it very easy, very simple.
Good.
Then you
And
get
I can
something
tell you
even better.
guys from experience, it's
Mhm.
no problem. This works very smooth. The only problems I've had is parents using the WeChat browser. That's
Yeah,
the
I mean,
only problem.
I had a tiny blip. I will be completely honest. I had a tiny blip where all of a sudden Alipay stopped working. And it turned out to be a problem with Stripe, not with me. When they had upgraded my account, because I'm a legacy account. So when
Mhm.
they updated all of the new systems, they didn't properly change me from the legacy account to the new systems that they have, and it messed up my processing for Alipay. It took them like
Right.
2 weeks to fix it too, but it was fixed, and I've gotten payments since then. One of the other nice benefits, we're going to use Jay as our example here, is you get a financial page. as a teacher. And here is your financial page. This is provided by me. You can track your financials through me. So, your payment method cutoff is on Saturdays, payouts are on Wednesday. You get your current payouts. So this is the current week that we are working on will be here. I load all of the current week's payments at the end of the cutoff. I'll just do one big load. So you'll see everything come Sunday. You will see also the entire month with sums. So you'll get sums here at the bottom. Okay, your gross fees.
I'm not
Okay.
gross.
I know that. You'll also see your year-to-date earnings through my portal, which will be in just a quick snapshot, or you can actually see all the lines, so everything you've done so far. And you can also see, as we work through the year, you'll see your monthly payment history, which is in a toggle down as well. Okay. So like when we get to June, you'll see all your June payments that you've received.
So, Nicole,
Yep.
this begs the question.
Yes,
How
yes, yes.
often do we get paid?
That's here in the payments tile. So it'll list your payment method. I prefer to use Wise and Remitly. I can do a couple others, but those work the best. So cutoff is Saturday. So Saturday, my time, okay? So Saturday evening is the cutoff. So Sunday, I will be pulling files and I pay out the following Wednesday. So I initiate payment the following Wednesday.
Good.
So it gives me a couple days to make sure that like there's no problems.
The longest anybody could have to wait is a week.
The longest. It's just however long it takes for it to arrive in your bank account.
Right.
I'll admit, you can ask any of my teachers. You can even ask, like, Jay will vouch for it. I put this time, but I typically pay a lot earlier. I pay as soon as I've done the processing. I just send it out.
My payments have always been really quick.
Yeah.
But this doesn't take into account if Wise decides that, all of a sudden today I can't send it right away. We got to wait 3 days, which has happened.
Right.
It has happened.
Oh, I hate it when it does that. I will say once I initiate payment, I won't be canceling payments. So if Wise decides that, okay, we're going to take 5 days to send payment, well, sorry. That's just the way it is. I have no control over how long the payment portal sends it to you.
Right.
They typically do it pretty quick, to be fair.
It's always been really quick for me. It's always been really quick.
But this is actually what I've been working on the last week, is to make sure that every teacher gets their financial page. So that was
cool.
Really hard. That was really hard.
I dig it. I like it.
So the reason why I took it a little step farther is I wanted to help people create that sense of security for the parents. I know that a lot of parents are very wary to pay independent teachers. They always think that these bigger companies is so much more secured. So I thought, okay, this is a really great way to have a licensed business verified. So you can actually say you went through a verifying process, which is basically what you do when you join any other of the big companies like 51 Talk, Cambly, anything like that. They vet you. You have to go through an onboarding process. So this way it kind of gives you that higher standing. It's not just a random portal. It's like, hey, I went through this verifying process to go through this actual secure business that is known in the industry, and this is where I'm receiving my payments from.
Right.
I will admit that I really like the payment links. I'm going to stop sharing here. There we go. They work really great. I use it a lot, even for myself. I just tell them what to pay. What's nice about the payment link, now, this is a fun fact. You can create your own invoices with whatever software you want to use. You can create your own invoice, and all you got to do is slap that link in there, and you've sent out an invoice in your own system that you're using, and they're sent to the link. So you can do this as well, which makes it nice. So, ta-da! Oh,
I dig it. I like it.
Payment.
I like it.
Payment fees. Does everybody want to know the fees?
No, these are free, right? This is a free service.
No, no. So, in your financial statement page, when I said there were sums at the bottom, you will actually see all of the fees. So you will see your gross payment, so the total payment that was received by me, TCC Pay, the Stripe fee, you will see the entire Stripe fee. You will also see my fee. So I charge 2%, which is extremely low compared to a lot of the other places. It's really low. And then it'll show your net amount. I will be charging a subscription fee. It will be $8, but for right now, everybody that is coming in will get the 2% only for a short time, probably until the end of May. So starting June 1st, I will implement the subscription fees, but it's only $8, which is still really low. It's a one-time fee.
That's it's eight
Not
dollars a
one
month,
time
right?
a month.
Right,
Yeah, it's like per
right,
month, not per
right,
transaction. Sorry, I
right.
said that incorrectly. Whoops. Sorry. Thank you for the catch.
Yeah.
Um, but it's $8 a month. We will be having a special way to avoid the $8 a month. I will announce that once it is ready to go, but there is coming down the pike where there is an option to only pay the 2% after so you don't have to pay the subscription fee. There will be two ways actually to do that to make it fair for those who don't qualify for the first option. Um, but for now, it is the 2%. So go ahead and join and get your first month at only 2%, right? Join on,
Mhm.
join. Um, and after that, we will be starting our subscription fee. Some of the other places, what's Qualigo charge? Isn't it like 20 something a month?
$26 a month.
Is it 26 now?
Yeah, but you're paying for mostly the platform. I haven't even heard of anybody using their payment system. Maybe people do. I don't know. I don't never
I
heard of
have.
anybody using it.
I have heard of some teachers who use it just for the payments.
Mhm.
And
Really?
it's a percentage. Yeah, and there's another one that does it as well, and I can't remember who it is at the moment. But it's a subscription plus the percentage, and
Yeah.
the percentage is even higher than what I'm charging as well. Plus this, I just thought it was very high.
Super. Well, I mean, I know one is
Super
Super
teacher,
Teacher.
wasn't it? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it was.
it's becoming the monthly fee is becoming really high, really high. It's how much is that these days? You
You
know,
know, go ahead.
when Super Teacher, there it is. When I use them, I don't use them anymore. I only use them for the payment stuff. And that's all I really needed because everything else I already have. This type of system that you have works much better for me. Where's the pricing? Yeah, I think this is expensive. Um, for the starter plan, it's $17 a month.
Yeah, that's a
And
lot.
for the growth plan, it's 27. But
Oh,
she's they have done something different where it's just different. You just go check it out yourself. That's what I'm going to say.
yeah. So I don't.
Superteacher.net. Just
Yeah,
go check it
yeah.
out yourself. I
I
think
made it
it's
a little bit
expensive.
different because a lot of them include like some type of LMS or platforms.
Right.
Like
Right.
for me,
This
I
is
was like
just
payment,
payments. Right.
teacher page, like
And
basically to create trust. That was it.
to be honest, you have to do that to keep the price low. You
Yeah.
have to do that because once you start adding in all this other stuff, it costs a lot more. And the goal of this wasn't to provide an entire LMS. There's enough of those out there. There's enough of those out
To be fair, I wasn't even going, I'll be honest, I wasn't even going to do the teacher's page. And then I
there. Mhm.
realized, no, the whole point was to create trust. So, and the
Right.
teacher's page, honestly, if you go through, that's why I do the onboarding,
Mhm.
the little onboarding class. If you do the onboarding class, I know my website really well. It doesn't take me hardly any time to upload all the
Mhm.
information once you give it to me. So it's not a big deal. Um, like 30 people join at one time, yeah, it'll take me a little while. You know.
Right.
But that's why I did the onboarding the way I did. So it gave you the option. If you choose not to, you just skip those steps, right? Um, but yeah, I'm not doing the whole LMS because I realized a lot of teachers have their own process. You
Right.
know, they have their own computer system and they have their own either paper system. You know, they just needed that, or they needed to increase the trust factor to get the payments. And so
And
that's where I went.
also
Mm.
stay tuned. There will be something available for those that don't have that later, not today.
Not today.
Not
Next
today.
podcast, we're going to go
Yeah.
into what we have for teachers to solve that problem as well.
Right. Not gonna give it away though. Not gonna do that.
Uh, we got to divide them up. We can't give everything away all at one podcast now anymore.
Right. Right. So, well, this is really good. I think this really is something that was needed because everything I looked at over the past was either way too complicated or um, way too expensive. And they have to, I'm not going to say their pricing is unfair, but they're offering so much. And you got, all that stuff costs money. All that
It
stuff
does.
costs money. It's not free. You have
No.
to pay a developer and all that stuff. Good luck with that on Fiverr.
Oh my goodness, don't get me started. I will say kudos to me. I literally built all of this by myself. There was
Mhm.
no outside sourcing. I did it all myself. So, which was a
But you
feat.
tried.
I did because I didn't want to go down the rabbit hole. I have the knowledge, but I was busy and I was like, I'll just be faster if I do it. Whoa, was that a mistake in itself? I
Yeah,
was like, oh, nope, 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 nope. Delete, exit
right.
stage left, give me my money back, which happened. Um, I will admit, yeah, the back end, it's not for the faint of heart to set up. So that does cost. And that's part of their, they have to have somebody to maintain it and everything like that. This is why I offered a simpler system as well, because while it was difficult for me to set up, it's set up. I can replicate it
Mhm.
now. I have a couple steps left to make it even more automated. Um, and when you're paying for those other portals, the other stuff that if you're not using all of the system, you're paying a lot just to
Right,
process payments.
right. Exactly. Exactly. You're
Now, if you're
paying too much.
using all of their systems, yeah, that's fine.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah. Good.
that's it.
Well, this has my full endorsement. If that means anything. With the
I,
J
you,
stamp. Chunk.
right? You know, I tried to create something that even I would pay for because Jay knows
Mhm.
me. I'm in the Philippines, we call it kripot. I'm a little bit tight when it comes to paying for things other than the
Mhm.
free versions, right? I want to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth when I pay for something.
Right,
I do pay for things, but I want to make sure it's exactly what I need and I'm not
right,
overpaying. So I tried to put it at a price point that even I thought was pretty fair. Um, doesn't mean it won't go up in price in the future, but that's not my goal. My goal was to make it something that was easy to use, created trust, and was fairly priced.
right. I
That was
think,
I think I've done that.
I think you, I think you hit that. I think you hit that really well. Good.
Thank you.
All right. So, Nicole, do you know what I did the other day?
No, Jay, tell me what you did multiple times.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention that.
I
So,
couldn't help it.
uh, some of you may, or maybe you don't know, but I'm a techie. And I watch a lot of YouTube tech videos. Way too many of them. Way too many. Far too many. Um, and I came across some videos on the MacBook Air, which is what I use and Nicole uses. And the one drawback, I guess I would say with the MacBook Air is it's passively cooled. There's no fan. All that means is your CPU throttles a little bit. It'll throttle during heavier tasks. Even I know it does in class occasionally. If you got a lot going on, the CPU will have to work a little harder, and it has to throttle to reduce the heat. Well, some tech YouTubers started taking their MacBook Air apart and applying thermal pads over the CPU area inside the case. So I watched a few videos on how to do this, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. You need a special screwdriver because it's Apple and they can't just put a Phillips head in there. They have to, you need, I think it's called a Pentalobe 5 screwdriver. Um, I already had that, but then I went out and I bought a square of thermal pads, 1 millimeter thick, and I took the MacBook apart, which it doesn't look very hard. I'm not going to do a video on disassembling it. There's a million of these videos on YouTube. Um, so I took it apart, and I'm going to tell you, getting that back panel off the bottom of the laptop is a harrowing experience because you got to kind of manhandle your laptop, and well, it's your computer, you know. It's not like
Yeah,
you can
right?
go outside and pull another one off the tree. Um, So, and then getting the panel back on the first time is it's going to take you a minute. It's going to take you a minute because you got to get
The
everything
first time.
lined up. Yeah. Well, anyways, but applying the thermal pads, the whole thing is relatively safe and it's not really that difficult. Just getting that back panel off and back on, that's a little tricky. That's and off is easy as long as you are not afraid to hear popping noises when you're removing it. It's a little harrowing the first time you do it, but there's plenty of videos. And I'll be honest, have I noticed a difference? Not a lot, but I would say yes, I have noticed a difference in some of my classes, like that where there's a lot going on. There's a screen share, there's an audio share, there's a lot going on. I would say yes. Now, the obviously you can't do this and there not be any repercussions. You may or may not void your warranty. I don't
I was
really
going to
know.
ask about that.
Um, but taking apart a laptop does not automatically void a warranty. I haven't really modified anything either. All I did was put some thermal pads on there. And if I ever need to
Mm.
take it in, I know how to do it now. I can take it apart and remove those thermal pads, clean it up a little bit where it leaves the residue. Just use some isopropyl alcohol, not ethyl alcohol, isopropyl always. Um, it's non-conductive, so you can't hurt anything. You could you could drop the whole laptop in a bucket of isopropyl alcohol and nothing would happen. You would be fine. Um, so yeah, I would just do that. I'm not sure about the warranty, and neither are the YouTubers. They plainly state that they're like, I don't know, you know. But people have been doing this apparently with the MacBook Air since the M1. So they've been doing this for 6 years, and I haven't come across any problems with it. Now, if you use your laptop actually on your lap a lot, I probably wouldn't do it because the bottom will heat up a lot more than it has in the past. Not enough to burn you, but if you're doing a heavy task, which most of us aren't using a MacBook Air for, if you're using a Mac, you're probably using a MacBook Pro. You don't need to do this on a MacBook Pro because there are fans.
Mm.
Okay. That's the that's one of the big differences between the two
Well, then that brings up the question. Why not buy one of those laptop stands that has the fans where you don't need
because
to
they
plug it into
suck.
your computer?
They don't work.
Well, people are
They
going to
they
ask though.
you know what? There have been so many videos on those and the results were null because my guess is you're not reaching the CPU. You're
Ah,
just
okay.
you're just cooling the bottom of the case. It's not really doing anything. Um, But yeah, now there were guys, I mean, some of the extreme guys that did this modification and then pointed this huge industrial strength fan at it. And it made a difference. And there's something called Palantir cooler that you could attach to the bottom. This anybody watching this video would never need to do that. They would never need to do that. They're not pushing their machine like that. But this is a very simple way if you want to get. I tested it out with some benchmarks and everything, some befores and after, and I got about a 15% boost in my benchmark scores. Now, that's not
Oh,
real
okay.
life use. That's a benchmark, but it is that is a noticeable increase. Um, and the whole, if you have to buy the screwdrivers and the pads, depending on where you live, you'll never spend more than $20.
Not bad. Not bad.
And the whole process, the first time you do it, probably take 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the
Oh,
most.
all right.
And that's just figuring
So,
out how to get the back panel
the
on
back
and
panel,
off.
right?
Right.
So the question becomes, who would this be useful for? Now, my first thought would be here in the Philippines because it's hot.
hmm That you know why when I decided to do it actually was we had a 13-hour power outage on Sunday. And I will tell you,
It's
teaching in my office,
hot.
you could tell it was throttling big time. I was struggling in some classes. And that's just thermal throttling. That's the CPUs do that to protect themselves. Your laptop should never overheat like your ball of fire, Lenovo.
Oh my gosh, man, that thing. I have never thought a laptop was going to catch on fire before. I am not joking. I really thought it was going to catch on fire. You were
Um,
with me in a meeting when it happened
yeah,
too, and I was like, I got to put that down.
if you do a lot, I mean, it's not if you're using a MacBook Air, it's not. I wouldn't say it's something that any teacher needs to do. It's not a must do. But if you're like me and you want to squeak out a little extra performance, it's okay. But I'm gonna tell you, watch the videos. I'm not gonna help you do it. I'm not a tech YouTuber. I could do it, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Just watch the videos. They're very straightforward. They tell you exactly what you need. They show you exactly where to place the thermal pads. It's very uh, to do. I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to tell them.
Oh,
But my
you
multiples.
ha. Well, what are you going to maybe we can share the link. Do you still have the YouTube video that you
I
used?
just go to YouTube and type in
Well, I was just thinking maybe
M4
you had a
thermal
video
pad.
that you like.
I could probably find one. Now, I saw a video. If anybody out there has the MacBook Neo, this is applicable to the MacBook Neo as well. And
Ah,
people were getting a significant boost in
I could see that.
performance on like double. They were getting like double. Um,
Really?
yeah.
You should test that out if you ever get one.
Let me see here. Where's this guy right here. This is here's a link. I'll put it in the chat, which nobody can see besides you and me. This is one of the videos that I used. I watched multiple videos
Oh.
multiple times on doing it. And this
I'll
guy's
I'll
been
copy it
doing
and
it.
put it in the
Yeah,
description.
yeah. That's one video I watched. There's another guy, he's very nerdy. But this is the guy that also connected a um, giant fan and super cooler to it and just got ridiculous performance. It's completely the extra stuff he did is completely not for most people. This was just
That's it.
a
I love the Fire laptop. Is that just for me?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right. Well, that's pretty cool though.
It's very
I think that's
simple, but
simple
if you're
upgrade.
terrified to open it, probably don't do it. You could probably take
I
everything
was
you
gonna say
need,
just
take
take it
it
to a
to
shop.
your local MacBook repair shop, not a service center, because they won't
Yeah,
do
not
it.
a service center. They won't do
But
it. No.
tell the guy what you want, and he'll know how to do it. He'll know how to do it. Show him the videos. Tell him I sent you.
Well, I mean, I'm sure if they watch the video or if they even just know anything about it, it'd be like a 5-minute fix for them.
Yeah, it wouldn't take them much to do it. Wouldn't take
Well,
long.
and then you wouldn't have to buy the tools either.
Right, right. Well, the I don't know. It's like I paid like $5 for a huge screwdriver set that happens to have it in there, and then the thermal pads were like $3.
Yeah, but here in the Philippines, it would cost me less than $5 for this to have somebody open it up
Oh,
for
I
me and
know,
put it
I know.
in.
But if you have the tools, you can do it again.
Yep, you can't.
Like
And
somebody
again,
I know that did
and
it
again.
twice. So here's the funny story. Nicole knows me really well, and this didn't surprise her at all when I told her the story.
I was still dying
I
laughing.
so I put it all on there and used it for a while. I'm like, I shouldn't do this. I don't need this. This isn't anything I need. So I opened it back up, took them off, took the thermal, put it back to its original state, reassembled everything. And 2 hours later, I'm like, man, that's free performance. You're leaving it. You've got everything. Took it apart again and put them all back on. Put them all back
That's
on.
hilarious.
So
That's hilarious.
that's where we're at right now. I'm with them on, and like I said, the only drawback is if you use your laptop a lot on your lap and you do a lot of really heavy tasks. Teaching is not a heavy task. It'll heat up a little bit more, but it won't be uncomfortable. But if you do like a lot, like if you're going to import like 1,000 photos, or you're going to do a really heavy video edit, which you shouldn't be using a MacBook Air for a really heavy video edit. For normal stuff, it's fine. It's fine. Even the Neo's fine for that.
Yep.
But I wouldn't do it then. But the bottom of it, it does get noticeably warmer. It does get noticeably warmer. So just keep
All
that in
right.
mind. All right.
Well, thanks. That's cool. So we've had our weekly vent. We- We've talked about TCEC Pay, the payment portal for
Mhm.
teachers to get verified, and a simple upgrade to our Mac M4 that we've had that you can do pretty much on I think all the Air books, right? And the Neo you
Yes, you
said
can do
too.
it. Yeah, you can do it on the Neo as well. People have been doing on to, and apparently on like the original M1 MacBook Air, people have been doing it since 2000. And I haven't seen,
Oh,
and I watch a lot of these videos,
I hadn't seen anything about that.
and not one person said, "Oh my gosh, this blew up my computer." Or even on Reddit, nobody had
Oh yeah.
anything like that to say. And if you're going to complain about something, Reddit's the place to be.
Right. So apparently, I mean, do your own due diligence, of course, disclaimer. Um,
Mhm.
it's one of those simple upgrades that is useful but doesn't, there's no real
This
negatives to it.
there, if you have a MacBook Pro, don't bother. You already have cooling. Um, if you have like an Intel based Mac, I believe those had fans. I don't think you're going to get anything. Those are getting pretty long in the tooth now, anyways.
Mm.
But if you have an M based MacBook or a MacBook Neo,
Yeah.
think about it. Think about it.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, I think this week's been pretty interesting. We've had a lot to
Yeah,
share this week.
yeah,
All right.
sure have.
Anything else you got, or are we good to
I'm
go?
good. I'm
I'm
good.
good too. I
All
feel
right.
better. I like the vent session. We're gonna have to do that
All right.
again.
All right.
All
Get
right, you
better.
guys. Well, let us know how you feel. We'll be putting some links for you in the description. We'll put in Jay's little M4 hack that he found those videos in. I'll put in the link to TCC Pay so you can go right to that page and get your, read about it and get your application, get
Mhm.
started. And we'll come back next week with a new set of surprises to add to that to help teachers maybe better organize. All right.
All
So
right.
see you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.